fixing the Daisy power line XT15XT. Okay, you put the air cartridge in, air leaks out the back, so things you can feel it in your hand. It cools your hand right off pretty quick, and all the air is gone. You can't shoot it. Remove the screws. Remove all screws. Leave this one for the last. All of them use a small Phillips screwdriver. You'll need a normal screwdriver to take these two bolts off, which I've done. When you get to the end of everything, don't forget there's one under this plate. Okay? Once you removed all of them, or you can simply just loosen them up, leave them in their hold so they don't get lost. Okay? Just like that. Then remove this first one over here, this one right here. Put your finger on the front of the pistol and remove the first one like that. Suggest you take that one completely out. Save it in a very special space. The front of the pistol is going to want to fly out just like that. Okay, here we have a problem to begin with right here with this spring apparently. Okay, then you take the cover off. I'm going to put the pistol down to do that, but you guys get the idea. If it doesn't come off easily, it's because there's something still screwed in there. Okay, and I'll show you a picture of it disassembled in a minute. Just like that. Okay? That's how you disassemble the pistol. Pretty easy. Try to keep everything intact like this. If it falls apart, I will show you piece by piece where everything goes when we reassemble it. But the problem is in this back section right here, we're going to take that out and we're going to seal it again, and that will fix our problem with the CO2 cartridge. I don't know how to seal that compartment. It's a very simple step. Just pull it out from the pistol frame, as you've seen that I already pointed at in the video. Use a knife, screwdriver, counterclockwise. Okay, just pull it out and you'll see this screw type like this. There's a spring, just leave the spring, but this is the screw. And the whole problem is air gets out through here. So we're going to use some normal Teflon, just wrap it around the threads, or some PVC sealer, and that will help to stop the problem of leakage. Doing this stops the whole thing. Grab the screw, put it back in, and that fixes the CO2 problem on the BB pistol itself. Now it's time to put it all back together. Okay, let's put the pistol back together. First, grab the compartment which we fixed. At the end of the compartment, there's this little piece. Make sure you have that. The thickest piece, the thickest part around, goes into the chamber like that. Okay, here we go. First step, put that in there. Find this little piece right here. Okay, it has this little compartment here, and you'll also need the medium size spring. Why did I say medium? There's 3 major springs. This is the medium one. Okay, well, it's actually almost the smallest one. 4 big springs. I don't know if this one counts or not, but the thick one, there's a short fat one, and a longer one here. Okay, use the longer one right there, and you put that at the end of this little copper piece here. Okay, so these 3 elements, and you grab, this one goes at the bottom of the compartment, the spring. This is gonna fit just like that. It's gonna fit in on top of that little piece that we put in. So we got the main compartment, that little valve in the middle, and this right here. Then grab the handle where the CO2 cartridge goes and place that in like that. And place these things all in the frame of the pistol. And move this stuff out of the way. Okay, and you place this. This is probably one of those tricky parts where you gotta get this in place, and probably keep your finger well on that spring, and it catches on right on the plastic part of the frame here of the pistol. Okay, right in there. Take your time. Always make sure the springs are all placed in the right place. Okay, making good pressure just like that. Okay, so there's the finished phase one. The little spring gets caught right there in that plastic. The valve and the valve in between in this compartment. This is where the BBs fall from the top. Okay, now grab these two little columns, black little pieces of metal there actually are, in this model at least. Place those two in there. That keeps it from moving too far away from replacement. That's phase little one of putting the pistol back together. Okay, next part we need to do is get the barrel in the trigger part of the pistol. We have our compartment here, which we have sealed the back of it, and I'm going to show you the parts you're going to need, and then I'll start working on the pistol. You need the barrel, this stop plate here, just like that. You need the trigger piece. If it fell all completely apart, it probably looks like this. Okay, and you also need this little gadget here. Okay, this just simply fits together like that. You can see the shape of it. That's what it looks like. Of course, this and this go together in the barrel. Also, your safety. Okay, the red part goes in first. You can put that in there. Only goes in one way in the safety. So put that right in there. Forget about that. Now we're gonna do all this at the same time. Get the barrel in and these pieces in. You can probably try to put the barrel in first and then the other. I'm just gonna give it a try, see what happens by putting in the barrel first. Okay, so you're gonna have to pick up a little bit on the parts you already put in. Make sure this plate doesn't bother, fit in perfectly. The spring didn't fly out. Make sure that spring doesn't fly out when you put that in there. Now, right under this block, you get this piece that goes here, L shape over here. A dot goes into this little box here. On the back side of it, there's a molding. In the molding, you see a little place where to put this little column. So, fit it in there, just like that. Okay, now here comes the tricky part. This has to fit one on each side. And this little wire that you can see right here has to be on the inside. That what makes the trigger spring back for you. That has to be on the inside of the gun shell. Okay, so I'm just going to try to place this around the block there. I'm going to pick up a little bit on everything we placed without letting the springs fly out. Make sure it sits in its molding. That little column there sits right down into the molding. It keeps it from moving. Okay, right down in there. Then that little wire that I talked about, make sure that that stays in the front of the inside of the, just like that. So we got this in the frame at the bottom, this one in its place in the column, this little dot here, just like that. Okay, one on each side, the safety pin in place, the safety itself of the pistol. Okay, and its block up here. Okay, so get ready for the next step, which is of putting this all together is putting the springs in, the loading mechanism, and closing it tight after we put the tightening CO2 cartridge. But what we've done is sealed the back of the air cartridge, put the little pin in between these two things, a little spring right there, the block with a type L bracket down at the bottom, and this thing that goes around the trigger, the safety. Make sure that little wire is in there so that it makes the trigger come back. The weight and the springs, big spring right there. The loading mechanism spring has, if it fell all apart, completely apart, it has this little thing at the end. Okay, it comes off also. You just place that right on there. This is what it does, it just pushes the next BB down into place. You just slide that in where the loading mechanism is right here. There it goes. And put that spring and just push it all the way down to the back. Okay, so we got the two springs to weight. We still need the adjust tightening CO2 cartridge that fits nice in there. You give it a gap like that and it'll fit perfectly. And it should go all the way into the bottom. If not, when you close the cover, it's going to give you a little trouble. And you'll go like, what is going on? It should be nice and flush like that. Then what you do is you just grab the cover, put the cover on. Okay, usually sometimes it's the safety pin that gives you a little trouble here. Okay, and there it is. Get a little bit of something not wanting to close here for some reason. There it goes. Okay, good. Then what you do is you just simply grab this part right here, push these springs back. See it again. Okay, grab this here, slide it in, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of resistance. Okay, the small spring gets caught up here on the top, big one right in the middle. And you grab the biggest screw that we had, and that one goes right in there. Okay, tighten up all the screws again. There's a fake screws on this one, there's real screws on this one. That's it. Put your pistol together. I'll show you, saving time for you to watch. It's pretty simple. I'll show you the finished pistol in a second. First snap it into place and then screw it on. There you go. All of them are Phillips except this one, which is just a normal screwdriver. Just to make sure you have to use 2 screwdrivers. Good. And you're set. So go. Here we go. Put the CO2 cartridge in. Seals perfectly. Take the safety off. I know there's no BBs in there. Just in case, we're just putting it off somewhere else. Okay. From now on, remember not to leave the CO2 cartridge in your pistol side, and there's your pistol. Once again, you can use it. Have more fun with your Daisy Powerline Model 15XT. And that should fix your problem. If it ever does come back, just take it all apart again and do it.